Hi there, I'm Lauren and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Sweet Smelling Soul. Today I am working on a fun project which is upcycling or refashioning this men's denim jacket. Now it's a Levi's denim jacket which I bought secondhand from Depop, and I'm really happy with the quality. There are no marks, everything just looks really well looked after, so I'm really happy with that purchase. So I got the inspiration from my husband Lawrence. He was on Reddit and stumbled upon this vintage denim jacket that was worn by Bob Dylan in a movie in 1987, I think it was. It had patchwork all over it. It was like really fun and creative and had a lot going on, and it was recently auctioned off for $25,000, which is pretty insane. And obviously it's because Bob Dylan wore it and it has a very unique look. What I got out of it was that I was so inspired by the denim jacket. I've in the past worked on different denim jackets, adding patchwork, embroidery, fixing some holes, and yeah, just really getting creative with those kinds of projects. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, I would love to make something similar, or a Bob Dylan inspired men's denim jacket or women's. Let's just get into it. I'm really excited about this. Since it's a large men's denim jacket, we have a lot of space to work with, which is really cool. So when I was looking at the design, I started by looking at this panel up here, and I thought that would be a good starting point for me to put different patches and like experiment with the placement and just kind of go from there, and then gradually I'll just make my way down this panel. Then I'll probably focus on the sides, and then on the front I'll focus on panel by panel again. But I think, yeah, starting this project from the back I think is a good idea. Also, I wanted to add that I'll probably do a mix of hand sewing and machine sewing. I think any of the pieces that are like quite large and easy for me to get under the needle in the machine, then I'll probably just use my sewing machine to stitch on the pieces. But then I might like outline some of the patches that I've sewn on with some embroidery thread, making some patterns here and there. And yeah, I'm just going to do a mix of machine, hand, and maybe even hot glue. We'll see. But yeah, for now I'm just going to start with this panel, start pinning things, and then just see how it turns out. It's an experiment. So I've started to collect some bits and pieces that are similar colours anyway to the patches that are on Bob Dylan's jacket. So I have some velvet here, which I noticed was in there. It has some lace, so I thought, okay, well, I'll grab some lace from my stash. There are a couple of like navy blue shiny pieces. I don't have any of that, so I've just kind of gone with this shiny piece that I have here, and also this kind of green, shiny green colour that I might... Oh, there it is, it's shiny on that side. That I'll add to it as well. Yeah, there are just some like light pinks in there, different pinks, different reds. Yeah, some denim spots, beigey colours. So you know what, it's close enough. You know, obviously I'm like not trying to create the exact same jacket, but just using what I have, and yeah, just kind of getting an idea of what might look okay. So those are the pieces of fabric that I've got there so far, and I'll just kind of dip into my stash here of scrap fabric as I go along and add different pieces here and there. Got another pile here that had some similar fabric to the jacket. So I also went to the op shop and bought a couple of cushion covers, because I noticed that there are some kind of applique features, and I thought, okay, maybe, and they're floral, so I thought maybe I can cut this out and then sew it on. Not sure yet, but I thought that would work. There's also a little bit of shine in this, so I thought, okay, maybe I could add this to certain areas. Then I also went and got some trimming, so I have some gold trimming for around the elbows and like a little bit of the front of the jacket. And I also got some white trimming as well that I'll probably have to shorten a little bit. But yeah, I mean, these are just the bits and pieces that I've got. I think I can work with that, you know. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the exact same, but it can kind of be my own version of the jacket, and I'm just using this as inspiration. So here's an update so far. I think I'm going to start sewing before I get carried away with the placement because then it'll mean that I'll have to unpin a lot of things if I don't make a start. So I think I'm better off starting with these like kind of ones that are tucked under, like the base fabrics. I think I'm going to start hand stitching or machine sewing those. I'll take a photo of this and then I'll unpin the other things just so that I could sew the base pieces on, and then I think I'll add this next layer on top. So that's pretty much the top panel sorted, and then once I've sewn everything on, I'm gonna attach this about here and then bring that over like that. So yeah, that's where it's going. So far so good. I just have to start sewing and figure out the best way to apply all of these patches, but anything that's like maybe overlapping the thick part of the denim, like the seam of the denim, I'll probably just hand stitch, only because my machine might not be strong enough for this. So let's just keep sewing, keep pinning, and I'll keep you updated as I go along. So an update so far, I really got stuck into this and just sewed most of the back patches on. Once I was on a roll, I realized it's better that I just keep going and just be in the flow and, you know, just keep sewing the patches because it is going to be a long project. I realized that once I started hand sewing the top pieces, I realized that I'm actually going to be investing a lot of time into this, and maybe this will be a slow sewing project that I might complete over a couple of weeks. But so far I've probably spent about 3 hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours, just kind of sewing each piece on. But what's taking a little bit longer is deciding on the pieces and then figuring out the placement as well. But once I start sewing, you know, it's pretty quick, and certain parts of the jacket are easier to sew. I realize that hand stitching is probably better for this because I can get my arms under it and work with the middle a lot more easy. But I did use my machine to sew the lace on here. So yeah, I just had to be careful kind of getting it under the machine. And I don't mind hand stitching. I find it quite meditative. So yeah, it's been enjoyable and just relaxing. I'm just listening to an audiobook and sewing on the patches. And like I said, I'll probably just chip away at it over a couple of weeks. But that's the update so far. Now I'm just gonna have a break, I think, but I will come back to it at some point, maybe tomorrow, and finish the bottom part of the jacket here. And then I'll start to move on to the front. I'm gonna get back to work on this Bob Dylan inspired denim jacket. and I'm going to continue working with the bottom section of the jacket. So I'm just going to keep sewing.
Yeah.
And here is an update. I think I'm going to give it a break now. I've completed most of the back and I've started doing the sides here. Still have to attach this one here. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. I feel like it's looking very similar to Bob Dylan's jacket, so that's good. And this is just a quick look from the front. So I've had some pieces come over the shoulder so far, but yeah, there's going to be a lot more embroidery work on the front. So here it has like a peace sign, here there's kind of like a flower or a sunshine looking feature. So I think, yeah, I'm still gonna continue embroidering a lot. There are also little embroidery features around the buttonholes, so I'm gonna experiment with that. Also around the pockets here. So yeah, I think the front is going to be a little bit more than just sewing the patches on. It'll be a little bit more creative. I mean, it's already super creative, but I feel like there'll be a few more different stitches and things that I can try on the front. And then I'll be adding some trimmings as well to like the sleeves and around the bottom of the sleeve as well. So yeah, that's how it's going. If you enjoy watching me sew this Bob Dylan inspired denim jacket, then stay tuned for part 2. I will continue working on this over the coming weeks. Let me know your thoughts on all the creative projects, and if you liked this video, please like it, comment, let me know what you think about this so far. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe if you like watching all things sewing related and craft related. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.